Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger and my friends. The DnF Duel beta is now over, so I figured, hey, why not talk about it? And honestly, I had more time with the second beta than I did with the first, because the first there was technical problems plaguing it, and also, and more importantly for me, the King of Fighters 15 beta was also happening at the same time, so I didn't really get too much time to dedicate to it. Now, though, I had a lot more time to play this beta than the first one, and I have to say, the first one, I had pretty positive impressions, but now that I got some real time into the beta, and also tried out a lot more than just one character, because the previous beta, all I really played was the Crusader, now that I played multiple characters, I gotta say, man, this game is pretty friggin' good. So from this beta, from the previous one, there wasn't much in the way of changes. There was some small character balance changes, not to the degree which I know all of them. Like they removed the grappler infinite, characters like the Crusader, his counterattack now, you can get some real combo conversions off of it, before not really. But in the end, balance-wise, fairly small stuff. One thing I feel a fairly profound change though, although it's not listed in patch notes, is the netcode. Now, the netcode before from the first beta, I was already singing its praises, right? It's like on par with Guilty Gear Strive, which has great netcode. Although now in this new beta, I feel, to quote Dragon Ball, they've gone even further beyond. My experience with the quality of the net play in this current beta for DnF Duel is to the point where I just don't recognize I'm playing online anymore. I just treat it like it's anything else. I don't think I'm playing online. I just treat it like it's offline. Like I can't sing a praise higher than it just feels like offline, and that's good enough. Like a set against one gentleman I played, after the fact they told me they were from Germany. Like as I've said many times, I live in the middle of nowhere, Ontario, Canada, right? Germany's a pretty decent distance away, and I could not have told you that before. Even in Strive with its good netcode, Canada to Europe, it's a little iffy, right? Although in this game, man, it just felt great. It feels like Arc System works. Whatever netcode they had to work with Strive, which is very good, they effectively went to the next level. It's an improvement on what they already had before. So change-wise, that's basically where I'm at. Like small balance changes, but just the core experience seems to be better all around. And I'm sure with the information gained from this beta as well, they'll change even more things in the future, and the launch product will just be that much tighter. So now about the game itself. Now that I played way more games than the first beta, played with more characters than the first beta, just allow me to gush about some of the things I'm really coming to love about this game. One, in a lot of modern-ish fighting games, you know, one of the key and core complaints is the lack of neutral, or specifically buttons don't feel good like they used to in older games, right? Range is just shorter across the board. That is not a problem in this game. Especially trying the Ghost Blade out, I played the Crusader, but even other characters that are nominally, say, short range in this game, like the Kunoichi. You put the Kunoichi in any other game that's not this game, and she would be considered a long-range, big normals character, because that is the absurdity of how titanic a lot of characters' buttons feel in this game, and it's a great feeling. Effectively, engagement for most characters in this game gets to happen from a lot further away than it does in other modern fighters, and it's a great feeling. It's great, like the Ghost Blade, the movie you're seeing here where he's going crazy, going blah 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 all across the screen. That's just stand heavy. Like that's not even a special move. You just get to go berserk like this off a basic button. That's crazy. And it's a great feeling. It's just fun to press buttons in this game. So many characters' buttons just feel so satisfying. In a game that is admittedly looking to capture a more casual market, because yes, it does have the easy inputs, and we've talked that to death in the past before. My stance on it, I still prefer motions, but it allows you to do motions, so there you go, right? But in a game where it's looking to capture that casual market, being able to just plop in, hit buttons, and it feels really, really good is absolutely fantastic. Other than maybe, say, the Striker, because she's pretty much the shortest range character, anyone could just slap buttons and you can feel like you're doing something pretty momentous. And the Striker makes up for it in other ways anyways. Most of the cast, just as a rule, can generally control the screen pretty well, admittedly in different ways, yes, and the few that can't, like say the Grappler, can do their own silly stuff. Like the grappler, for me, someone who's known for playing grappler characters, this character has like almost every good positive trait like every grappler has in like the history of fighting games. This guy is actually a true joy to play. It's great. Quick grab, armored grab, frame one counter, plus on block normals that are very easy to do, a wide variety of hard knockdown setups. Like this guy, if you like the grappler archetype, if you like tossing people around, he exemplifies everything you want in a character that can do exactly that. And I guess that brings me to my next point is, that's the case for every character for the most part. Every character that represents some archetype or another, they are basically the paragon of that archetype. Every character feels like an overpowered version of what that kind of playstyle is. Like, even though over the course of the beta, it seems most people consider the grappler maybe the worst character in the game. I don't myself, but whatever, right? I think this guy is one of the best grapplers in fighting game history. Everything I like about grappling, this guy can do it all and more. Crusader, same deal, right? I'm like the big boy archetype. I like big characters in fighting games, and he exemplifies pretty much everything good about big characters in fighting games. He's got the big range, he controls the screen really well, he has an amazing source of armor, he forces you to deal with him with the fact that he can create walls anywhere on the stage. Every character is like this. Everyone feels like you're the boss mode version of that character style. And it's a very liberating feeling. This is one of the best things about the game to me. Like, you're not walking into a character, then you feel the one move is like, well, you know, it's a little weak, I guess, but, you know, you don't want it to be too strong. You wouldn't want to worry about, you know, the balance being ruined. As far as I can tell, balance is like one of the least of their concerns, honestly. Not to say they're not making a game where they want just stuff to be broken, right? But it feels like it's broken in a calculated way, I suppose. I feel like a lot of other modern games just wouldn't let characters feel this strong, because all the characters feel real strong. Like, I do see some people say, oh, it's not too fun to fight against the Ranger. That is, you know, the zoning archetype, right? And, well, if it was fun to fight against a zoner, that means the zoner's probably a really bad character, right? Nobody likes fighting zoners. Like, that's just one of the things of fighting games. If you can feel the pressure from whatever the opponent's game plan is, whatever the character they're doing, then it means the character's doing something right. Basically, what I'm trying to say is every character feels very well designed. Every character feels fun to play from every character I've played. To the point where it made me look up Dungeon Fighter online. It's like, oh, maybe I should try the game. Thankfully, I fought that urge. That's a sick urge, and you need to fight it as well. But that's just how well my general impression is on everything. So yeah, through all that gushing, if it doesn't come through clearly, so far my opinion on the game is 2 thumbs up. And I know we didn't have the training mode. A lot of people complain about lack of training mode. The main purpose of the beta was to test the online, test the networking infrastructure. And, well, you know, that's just, them's the breaks, right? That's how it's gonna be. The game depth is definitely gonna get figured out a lot more, especially once we start doing gray health canceling a lot more. I never really figured it out too well on any character other than the Crusader, so definitely a lot more room to improve on that front. And the gameplay is just definitely going to get crazier and crazier and crazier. So that all said, it's actually not too long from launch now, right? It comes out at the end of June, and now we are in April, so June's not that far away. Still a lot to be learned. We have no idea what the single player component is going to be like. We have no idea what the other multiplayer stuff is going to be. We've seen room battles, player matches, ranked, any other online options. We got no idea. Some would argue, hey, how is the game coming out? Some would say maybe free to play. I doubt it, even though I myself advocate for free to play in fighting games. And obviously, free to play is where Dungeon Fighter Online has made all of its money. But it'll probably be a standard release, and that's fine. The free to play future is not here yet. Gonna have to wait for Project L, more than likely, for that one. Now, some other stuff. I already gushed how good I like all the characters, this, that, and the other, and we actually got a lot more characters to go. By my reckoning, we got at least 5 more characters. Like, if you look at the character select screen now as it currently stands, with the Ghostblade added to the roster, there's effectively 5 more spots open, right? There's definitely enough more for 2 more portraits on the left and 3 more on the right. And the thing is, we actually know 3 of these 5 characters coming at the very minimum. That being the Enchantress, the Female Mechanic, and the Troubleshooter. We've brought it up in other videos, but we've only seen bits and pieces of them. The Enchantress on the left, As far as we can tell, going by the base Dungeon Fighter Online gameplay, she's some sort of summoner. The female mechanic is all about guns, lasers, and tech toys, and the troubleshooter is specifically about shotguns and explosives. We'll probably get more details on those characters fairly soon because, well, the game's out in about a month and a half. As for the other two characters, hey, who knows? There's this big burly dude on the box art. He's not one of the classes in Dungeon Fighter Online, but maybe. And last character, truly unknown. Just insert whatever your favorite class from Dungeon Fighter Online is. But yeah, in the end, overall impressions are truly fantastic. I went from liking this game, I thought the game was cool. I was going to get it anyways, right? I just thought the game was pretty alright. But now, I think this game's kind of something special. Like, it's not going to supplant Street Fighter or Tekken or anything like that, right? But I think this game is just really cool. It kind of distills a lot of the core essence of what fighting games are into a sort of no frills, no BS brawl. Maybe due to its nature, it'll be easier to quote-unquote solve this game compared to some other fighters. But I do feel, even if it is solved, the solved equation of DnF Duel is going to be a way crazier, way more savage game than most other modern fighters, period. So if you haven't had the chance to try the betas out for yourself, and especially if you're on PC, because unfortunately there's no PC beta, I do recommend the game in its current state. From everything I've played so far, I have to say it's pretty cool, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So if you got your chance to play the beta yourself, let me know what you think. Post in the comments below what you liked, what you didn't like, and maybe what you would like to see improved. Also, there is a survey out for the game right now. I'll post that in the video description, but otherwise, we're at the end of the video. If you could drop a like, that helps the video out big time. Thank you very much. But other than that, hey, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some DnF Duel.
Love me.